Hello y'all, this is Lady B. I'm just being called today to talk a little bit about belief structures. And I want to talk about it from a more positive standpoint because that's transformations that I'm doing in my life is to make things from, positive instead of negative. Like there's always, that duality. And I want to start focusing in on the good. But there's a lot of limiting belief structures out there, and I think this is something that really holds people back in terms of what they're allowing to receive and perceive from the external environment around them. And this can greatly, inhibit you from reaching like a higher potential and point of growth where you can really create some real happiness. So, how do you identify limiting belief structures? And, how do you overcome those, release those, and put good belief structures in place, and institute, positive, open-minded perceptions and things like that. So just delve a little bit into those, limiting belief structures. There's a lot of things that we gather from our experience, and it's like a conditioned way of being in terms of this is what we know to be true from what we've lived through, and a lot of times that's some, in my case and a lot of other people's cases, there's a lot of harsh realities and harsh, things that lead us to like now we have this ingrained consciousness of always living in that worst case scenario, and always kind of preparing for that because that's all we know. Our experience tells us that that's what is, and so we struggle with this inner turmoil of believing that there's more capable for us, that there's more out there for us, that we do deserve to be happy. That's another limiting belief structure that a lot of people carry, right? Like you deserve to be happy, that you're worthy of love, worthy of that unconditional love. And so many things from, childhood and onward play into this, things that were outside of our control, how our parents raised us, how they treated us, whether our feelings were allowed to be heard as children. And then growing into our adulthood, how we further perpetuated those cycles of and ways of being emotionally and through thought. And then the subsequent, actions and reactions in our life events that we tended to carry on those same things, same themes, and whether we learn to grow and change outside of that, really depends on those limiting belief structures. Lyric. But those limiting belief structures will hold you in a place in your heart that you don't believe that there's any other way to see or view or perceive. So we want to kind of just remember that we need to hold that door open within our heart, and not be so stern and closed off and think that, potentially if I start perceiving this in a different way, if I think in a different way, maybe there might be a different outcome. And with that thinking, change it from it has to be the worst case scenario because that's all there ever was, that's all there is, that's all you know to be true, and that is true up until now, and it has served its purpose in your survival, to get to where you're at, but it's no longer true, or it no longer has to be true, and you can create something else entirely different, not based in that reality that you're limiting yourself through that belief structure as your perception. And so this is something that we have a tendency as we grow older to get more stuck in our ways and set in our paths and our belief structures. They get, kind of cemented in there, through repetition and action and experience. And the more experience we receive in this way, the more this can only be true. So I just want people to become aware that it's your thoughts and your energies that continue to reinforce those belief structures, because you put it out there, you're going to continue to receive the same experiences that thought energy got you in the first place, which, oftentimes you're just perpetuating the cycles at play here, and that's all you do know. So it's quite the process to really recondition this internally, and I'm always going to speak on how to do that is through your thoughts and your emotions. So you have to start there. It's a process in the now moment that you have to try to just achieve moment to moment. Be forgiving of yourself if you're not able to get rid of those limiting belief structures right away, they spent so many years getting conditioned in the first place. So of course it's going to take time, to really do that and move through it. But it's the point of doing it in every moment that you can, with every thought that you can, every emotion, creating that pathway to, emotional action, and creating happiness, cultivating happiness in here. And yeah, like if you can just start with those limiting belief patterns and make room and pave the way for an open-minded, belief structure that incorporates other perceptions, and believes in a higher potential reality that could exist, even if you don't have the existing, evidence of it yet in your life. Even if it's just all still fucked up all around, that's where that hope and that faith becomes instrumental in believing that there could be potentially a better future, and imagining what that future may look like and feel like, on the inside, and what thoughts carry that vibration of that future. And so that's like the hardest part to like break through, is breaking through that negative reality and creating a positive one when you don't see it as even possible, because you have no evidence of it. And you're like, wait a second, well, if I'm looking at all the evidence, which is the logical choice to make, right? All this evidence tell me that it's gonna be the worst case scenario, but that's just reinforcing that negative feedback loop that's within you, in your thoughts and your feelings and that energy. So you got to break out of that negative energetic cycle, and start putting forth a more positive vision within, and feeling it vibrationally, and making that change in every thought that you can, so that you can, at the end of the day, have a culmination of more positive thought structures and emotional patterns, rewriting the old ones of the negative ones, So I always recommend trying to meditate before bed to clear your heart, your mind, in whatever way that, you can meditate. Some people meditation is, just shower and releasing that energy. Some people meditation is, exercise, gym. I talk about that a lot because there's a lot, in that energy. Some people's meditation, maybe just sitting with a candle, burning some incense, or listening to some, really sound channeling, feeling music. So whatever it is that you do to kind of put yourself in that space and ground yourself, that's what you want to do before bed every night, at least, to try to start, addressing some of those limiting belief structures, because they play throughout your day. They play, out in all kinds of types of ways. So, just start recognizing and identifying them as they pop up, and replacing them with good ones, and you start building that into habit. And that's one of my favorite quotes, actually, from Horace Mann, is a habit is like a cable. You weave a thread of it every day until at last you cannot break it. So, there's a lot of unweaving you got to do in there to get rid of those limiting structures, so you can institute the positive structures and have room for that positive, framework for what you're trying to do on the inside. So just be forgiving. It takes patience. It takes time. And you can't always just get it right on every single thought. You're going to start dwelling in negative energy, or maybe you might lose hope or belief because shit's still going all fucked up out here and you just don't see a way out. And it's just unbearable, that loss of hope and faith that there's anything more for you, and it's not a great place to be. So I want you to know, if there's anybody out there that is feeling like that, we're all struggling with, this kind of internal strife. Please do know that there is a way out there, and you just haven't discovered it yet. And you just only need to believe in yourself that you're capable of creating more for you, inside and outside. And it's nothing outside of you, but it all starts in here, through your thoughts and your feelings. And if you just start today on generating a more positive thought form and emotional habituated way of being, you just put it into practice, like, you will start seeing a result in the energy of your life around you. You'll start seeing that alignment that you have and the synchronicities. But you just have to put it into place and build it into practice, and just take that time. And I really, really, really hope the best for everyone in this journey when it comes to this, because a lot of us are struggling so deeply, and I have people close to my heart struggling so deeply, and I can't do that transformation for them. They're sitting in that lack of hope, and utter just disbelief that anything else can be better for their lives, because they're going through some, tremendous hardship right now. And they're in the middle of the hardship with no answer, no outlet, nothing, and so it takes a lot to get from that place. So I just really hope that anyone who is watching, listening, just knows that as much as it feels unbearable right now, there is a way. There's a will, there's a way. But as soon as you lose your will, which is you lose that faith, you lose hope that you can do more, there is better out there for you. And it's in your own empowerment that you create that, and that's no one else. Don't give that power to anyone else that they can create a better future for you. Don't wait for somebody to come and grab you and pull you up out of it. Just know that you're the vehicle to do that, and that you have it within you. Every single one of us has it within us to heal ourselves. Like, we are capable. So just empower yourself by removing those limiting belief structures, which starts with identifying them, first and foremost, recognizing them. And then clearing them out and putting something positive in its place, and doing that and building that into your synapses and through your actions, and you will start seeing it get easier and easier to build that positive momentum. But you just have to start somewhere. So just start today. Start with that first negative thought. After you've seen this and it kind of sinks in, any kind of negative thought and emotional pattern, especially when you're triggered by the stress of the events going on outside of you, how do you choose to respond, and how you choose to grow and change your mindset so that you're not reacting from a place of stress, even though it's there and you can pick it up and keep picking up and piling on that stress and piling on the stress of others on top of you? Or how are you going to choose to remove yourself from that stressful block and put yourself in a place of learning and growth so that you can move through it and still create happiness, somehow find some peace inside, because there's a key to that. So I really just start with that grounding work and clearing work through the meditation, and start building that positive momentum today. And I shit you not, you will feel a difference. You will start feeling a difference the more consistent you can carry through that energy vibration. So it's all energy. And the thoughts and the emotions carry so much energy. So just be mindful. Start that mindful practice today, and you will not regret it. So I hope that somehow maybe this might reach somebody that might be in a dark place, because there's a lot of people in my life that do have a lot of things they're going through, and I wish I could be more help to them, and I can't. They have to make that journey on their own. So if you do feel this has benefited you in some type of way, please feel free to leave a comment, share, subscribe, any of that business, or just share it with someone else that may be in need of hearing some of these words, to help give them that faith in their own empowerment, that they do have the ability to change inside and change the outside from that. So I hope y'all have a good rest of your day, and I'll talk to you soon.